What's going on, guys? This is TM25MD, and I have another Duelyst live for you guys today. Today we'll be playing some Vitruvian, some obelisk, some poop, some face. This is not my deck. This is I'm the poops, or GrinchIsMyFather, or I am the capitalist. He goes by a lot of things on Discord and in game. And he plays a lot of Duelyst. You should be studying. He's in med school. You should be studying, man. So yeah, we'll be playing his deck. Him and MinMaxer made, I'm in a Discord with him, with him and MinMaxer and like some other people, and they made a list, and it's specifically meant to just beat down Braum, right? Braum can't, Lion are difficulty dealing with large minions already, right? So, obelisks fall under just that, right? Have 6 health. What does that mean? 6 health means it's out of holy immolation range. You need to punch it as well in order to... usually you can't punch in holy immolation a target. You can, but if a well-positioned minion will try and avoid that, right? It survives Circle of Life, Blood Tier, holy immolation as well, so those things go hand in hand. Circle of Life, really the only thing that can clear it, or neuter obelisks in Lionar would be an EMP, which is a neutral, of course, but usually that's a little bit counterproductive in Lionar lists in general, unless you're running like a big Zaran like Pal and Nikissa back a couple months ago, I think, back in October-ish, summer of 2017, all the way up to fall. Ran a Golem list, Zaran, with Iron Cliff Guardians, with Bright Moss Golems, and a lot of Golem synergy, and with Zaran, keeping them healthy makes it very difficult to remove, right? Especially with Grandmaster Zir and EMPs and anything else that's big, can be quite scary, right? But anyways, the point is, Lionar doesn't really have minions that can deal with big with obelisks, right? They can only use Martyrdom, Perion's Claim, which is a little bit too late, so you can't stop early early obelisk, so it's throw a claim out of the picture. Martyrdom and Sunblue, right? And if you're playing Braum, where you're looking to swarm your opponent, high roll them, swarm them with your little poops, right, of your own, you're looking to run as many 1 attack to 2 attack, maybe even 3 attack if you're running Silver Guard, but it starts off as a 1 attack minion, so you play it out of reach with a minion, and then have your general movement in that proc Stragos trial counter, right? So it's 1 less. So that's how that's one way to do it. I used to do it's the same way if you play with Aurora, right? I made an Aurora list back in 2017 that I think I used like I think I got top 10 1 month with it, and I was playing Silver Guard because Silver Guard is like a really good card to it's one of the best 3 drops in the game, right? And you have to have a really good reason to pass on it, and I was running it in my Aurora list. And this was even before Braum came out, so you just play. Actually, no, Braum might have already been out. I'm not quite sure. So you play your Silver Guard out of reach, walk into it, and you can get a proc with Aurora that way. Same thing applies here, because you've actually run Aurora in some of these Braum lists. But if you're running so many minions, you just need draw, right? So you don't have an empty hand, so you don't just drop all of your Zixes and whatnot, and your Dream Gaze. Actually, Dream Gazer cycles itself, but all of your Zixes and whatnot. Turn 1, you have no hand, and you can't draw into something like Ash Misfit or Jax, which helps you to snowball in the before you drop Strategos, right? So you play Ash Misfit into Strategos. I don't know how you say it. And you get a bunch of 6-mana Lionar minions, which are really good. You can get Elix Stormblade. Actually, I don't know what else you can get for 6 mana. I'm not quite sure. 6. Let's go look. Elix Stormblade, Prominence. Not Senurui. Elix Stormblade and Prominence. And Solarius. All of which are really good cards to get, right? So, Ash Misfit, if one of them sticks, you already get an instant value right there. So, Jax, it only applies to the Jax itself. The mini Jax are considered 1 mana. So, but still, it helps you proc that Strategos counter, right? You play 5 minions, right? And that's already half of your trial completed. So, easy way to complete it, right? Play a couple minions in the early game, plus your Bloodbound spell. drop jacks, you're good to go on that thing. So, but outside of that, you're running all the minions, you need draw, so you probably run cards like Fealty and Trinity Oath. You could be ballsy and just hope to high roll and just run one card, right? Usually Trinity Oath over Fealty. Usually it's not just like Fealty, but very few decks, Braum decks that I've seen played against run any sort of removal, right? The only deck that I've seen that has run removal, and I don't, would be Holy Immolation. And some decks have chosen to omit that for just Trinity Oath and Fealty. But the most efficient one, I think, was Kolos's list, which I think he posted on Reddit. So if you were looking for a good Braum list, his would be the way to go. There's a couple cards I disagree with, but you know the concept is the same, right? But it has Martyrdom, which if someone plays something big in your face, you know you have no ways of dealing with it, right? So Martyrdom is good. So he's running 3 copies of Martyrdom. He also has Dream Gazer for some draw, and he has Trinity Oath, so that's 6 spells right there. And he also runs Draining Wave, I think that's what it's called. Deals 4 damage to something. Yeah, you take 4 damage, but you're looking to make a high tempo play. It's 1 mana, you eliminate a minion, right? 1/4, gets rid of an Azure Herald, gets rid of a Celebrant, etc. Gets rid of a Bloodbound Mentor, right? You can avoid those cards with that high tempo card. You know, it's a pricey pay, right? It's a price to pay, right? You're paying essentially 4 face, 4 health for removing a minion, and that just might just be all you need in the early game, early and mid game. Swarm doesn't really slow your swarm down, right? You play Celebrant, Golem Metallurgist, or Golem Metallurgist Celebrant, couple Zirix, whatever, and you have like 1 mana left over. So you kind of have like the choice, like, oh, do I develop or do I choose to remove my opponent's minion? Draining Wave can be thrown in there and just, you know, get that full tempo going. But this list looks to beat down hard Braum, right? I played 13 games with this list. As I said, it was curated by I Am the Poop and MinMaxer. So I decided to try it on, and it's like a dervish obelisk, and I love it. I've played 13 games. 13 games against Braum. I played more overall. Played 13 games against Braum, and I've won all 13. This list just beats down Braum like it's its job, right? Bone Swarm stops the early game swarm, right? You know, play a couple Bone Swarms. They can't deal with the obelisks either. I don't really play Flame Blood in the early game. It's usually more of a late game finisher, right? You know, combo that with the Cumulonimbus. Even if it's the first one you play, that's 4 plus 3. That's 7 damage, plus your General Punch, that's 9 damage. That's a lot of damage. Or you can play on 7 as well. Excuse me. You play that on 6, but on 7 you can play Fireblaze Obelisk and a Cumulonimbus. And, you know, that's 3 plus 3 plus 2. 8 damage face. That's a lot of damage. And obviously, if you play 2 Cumulonimbus, oh my god. There's a lot of games where I played double Cumulonimbus, and it just wins the game. I think a big example was I played, oh boy, I had a Fireblaze down. My opponent was able to remove it because it was Braum. They had no removal, right? They might run Lightbender, but he was out of reach. I played my backlined defensive Fireblaze Obelisk after playing some smaller ones like Ethereal and Lava Storm. Played a backlined Obelisk, and the game went to about 8 mana. So on 8 mana, I had double Cumulonimbus in hand. I played both. That's 6 Dervishes times at 3 attacks. So 6 times 3, that was 18 damage. Plus my General's Face, that was 20 damage. So I was able to do 20 damage that turn. Obviously, I was doing some chip damage before, but I had 20 damage. I had 20 damage out of hand. So this looks to beat down Braum like it's its job. So we got 1 Gust because that was I guess that was what's left over. 3 Sciencer's Wish is a little bit clunky. I really replaced it often because it was pretty low tempo, because I'm looking to swarm myself, right? So only 2 copies of Science Third Wish. Santoral Reader because it's very good value. I usually replace it. This in Blood of Air, I usually replace it in my opening hand against Braum. Why? Because it's just, you know, Braum's playing a lot of minions. I'm actually looking for more cards like Braum, Storm, and Obelisks. That's how I look to beat Braum, right? And a Cumulonimbus can be used for removal as well in the early mid game, right? So if you get a couple obelisks down, or even a Fireblaze, you play a Cumulonimbus, you pretty much clear the board. So on 5 mana, you play. What have I played on 5 mana? I played Bone Swarm, and I think a Fireblaze with some other obelisks, and I was able to clear my opponent's board. Maybe I just haven't. Maybe out of those 13 games, I've won. I just got lucky and didn't get super high rolled. Well, actually, to be fair, I did get super high rolled against Brome, but this list does so well against it. You don't even need Falchius. Though Falchius would just make this deck a little bit over the top. But it does have ways to deal with heavy swarm. But anyways, you can even throw in a Star's Fury over the Gust, to be honest, because Star's Fury is still a very powerful card. But with the Cumulonimbus can do just that. With just on its own, 2 Dervishes. Some people are like, it's a weak. I initially thought I thought this was a weaker Whispers of the Sands, but this card has so much more potential. Anyways, we don't need Flameblood Warlock. We could. There is merit to keeping it because you could have something like Arcalite Regalia, and we might need a little bit of chip to break that last artifact. So we got two obelisks. I'm inclined to place. I'll get rid of the Flameblood. This might be a big. Sandswirl is good against if he's playing like big Lionar minions, like. Though it won't delay, it slows down an Ironcliff Guardian, but we can deal with it for right now. I don't think this is particularly useful at this point in the game. So I'll replace it. Spelljammer is fantastic. So I'm just going to lead off and play that. The best thing he can do is 2-drop Sunbloom, of which I can just follow it up with a Fireblaze Obelisk. Oh, I didn't talk about. I forget the name of it. It's the new Dervish. With Intensify, it's a 2/1, deals 1 damage to your opponent and it gains 1 health. And so the next one you play will become a 2/3. Well, the first one you play becomes a 2/2, deals 1 damage. Second one becomes a 2/3, deals 1 damage. Third one becomes a 2/4, deals 3 damage. And it's a Dervish too, so any buffs to Dervishes, it also applies to that minion. So Fireblaze down, it gets +1 attack. Oh boy, Arcanist. Let's get rid of 1 Spelljammer. That's the worst spawn I could possibly have gotten. I've been getting a lot of these spawns, to be fair, so... I'm actually just going to take this tile from him, so he doesn't have 2. And I'm going to Science First Wishes, so he can't just punch it. And I think that's all I can do, right? It's unfortunate that I wasn't able to get 1. I got 2 out of... Standing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a 2 out of 7, which kind of sucks, which is because it's like 28%-ish. Oh, well, Lightbender, probably. Yeah. That's not the worst thing in the world. That's why I didn't want to play Fireblaze Obelisk right away. So, I can do a couple things, right? I can play a Fire... do I want to play Fireblaze? I'd rather get rid of this right now, so... This is all around a very good hand, because I would rather have cards, this is a good body too, so I'm just going to step 1 forward. Do I need to step 1 forward? Step 1 forward. Because I'm looking to clear this with Bone Swarm. Play this here, so it's outside of the reach of the Prismatic Illusionist. Bone Swarm, deal 2 damage to his face and punch that, remove that, and we should be okay for this coming turn. Not a great, this is actually not a bad start, so I would imagine he's looking to high roll. He could play something like Owl Aegis Barrier, of which we have the answer with Sandswirl Reader, which is fantastic. We'll probably replace one of the Spelljammers. So, he's opting, he doesn't have 2 damage, so because he could have cleared this with Arcalite Sentinel, and that's probably an Aegis Barrier. Yep, that's fine. Because that's way out of position, and I could care less about that thing's positioning. So we're actually going to take this tile, come here. So actually, we'll place first. just in case we get a better play. Nope, we got a good play here. I'm actually going to try and enclose him a little bit. So let's get rid of that. He doesn't mill it, but it's just fine. And we're going to be mana efficient and get a Poop Dervish of our own, and we're going to hit him for 2. And this is where we're going to try and turn up the heats, because next turn we'll have 6 mana. I can probably play like Fire Blaze, Flame Blood Warlock, put him down to plus General Punch and anything else. Could potentially put him down to below 10, which is fantastic. So we could potentially just kill him if we draw an Cumulonimbus. I would like to get a Spelljammer down, so I might actually just do Spelljammer and Flame Blood, because I would rather play... That's fine. It's interesting you're running Ironcliff Guardian in a list. that was bad English. Ironcliff Guardian and Arcanist, but it makes sense. It makes sense. We can bounce that back though, because there's definitely Divine Bond in this list, so no doubt about that. So we got to start turning up the heat of our own. We might not need to use the Sandstorm Reader, right? We can potentially clear this with Fireblaze Obelisk. We'll have to punch though, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. Going down to 15 as long as it means we maintain tempo. Because he can just play this next... Actually no, we can Sand Swirl it, and he'll mill it. Which is not bad. I'll replace Flame Blood for now. Despite contrary... Okay, so that we can play this. This is essentially like a Flame Blood. Because this will become a 2/3, and it will have... 3 health, so it survives general hit, which is fantastic. So I'm actually going to bounce that back. I didn't recognize that he had 6 cards in hand, so... yep, let's go bounce this back. This bad man. And let's go here. Let's make sure we order this correctly. Start doing some big damage to him. And let's play a poop of our own. And we got a poop over there, which is fantastic. So if he wants to deny this tile with like another provoked minion, then we can still hit him with this minion right here. So we got him surrounded. We got potentially lethal with Dusk Drinker and Flame Blood, because this is 5 damage out of hand. This will do 2 damage. This will do 3 damage. And I think we're good to go. It's very interesting that he played his... That's the problem, right? If you're going to play Prismatic Illusionist, yes, play it defensively, but don't just play it completely out of the range, right? It was irrelevant over there. So look at these spawns. They have to 2 to 3 turns to come all the way back into the fight. I know you're trying to play around the obelisks, but you know there comes a point, especially if you run Lightbender in your list. And Lightbender is not really a good play here because it doesn't dispel this tile. Tempest in... Okay, Tempest makes sense. So he's able to clear my poop. And he goes down to 4. He needs healing or he loses. Holy Immolation. That's actually spicy. And as provoked, does not matter. We win the game. Well played. This card is actually very interesting. I want to try this card. So, another Lionar down. And we're actually making it to top 50. I didn't expect to make top 50 this month, to be honest. Granted, I'm not there yet, but I am pretty close. We got Zirix Mirrors. He can obviously start a little bit better by playing 2 things. But, yeah. Flame Blood's too early. This will be good. This is good. Overall, I like this hand. I started at like S rank 140 a couple days ago, and then it's been playing memes. This isn't a meme. This is like an actually very competitive deck. I'm interested in keeping the Sand Swirl. I'll hold on to it. Actually, I run 3 in the deck, and I would rather look for minions, so I'll replace it for now. That's good to pick up. Science for a Swish is good too, especially double. Science for a Swish. Hopefully I don't get a 2 and 7. Is that a blood tier? Another blood tier? Oh my god. So many blood tiers. We can just punish this with a bone sword. Does he have a bone sword? Really? Oh my gosh, of course. The actual answer in hand. I was like, how do you deal with this? But double bone swarm, Rash's Curse would have done it as well. But I think I'm just going to play... I'm going to take this tile to be mana efficient and play an obelisk. 2 can play at that game, my man. He actually might be playing Min-Maxer's version, which actually runs... it runs less obelisks. I don't think it runs Ethereal or Firestorm. Just Fireblaze, simply because it just combos well with Cumulonimbus. And we were able to clear his board, I guess, sure. I don't think he has a way of dealing... Actually, a Cumulonimbus will do it, but that's fine. If you get the spawn here, it won't hit, so he should have... Actually, no, that was actually the best way to do it. I don't think there was a way to get 100% spawn to hit this, but that's fine. He's also down to 3 cards. What can we do? I don't think we need to first wish. I don't want this Spelljammer to be completely irrelevant. So if he uses Blood of Air or Sand Swirl, that's his entire turn, which would actually be a pretty good play. So we'll play the Spelljammer there, block off the mana tile. So you can't play like 1-drop in Blood of Air or Sand Swirl. We've got a Blood of Air of our own. I might just hold on to it if he plays something big. I don't think he is. I think he's an aggro list. I don't think he's playing anything big. So if he uses Blood of Air, it's not the strongest of Blood of Airs. I'll be honest. Yeah, it clears my board, but it's his turn. Just like that Cumulonimbus. Though it did clear my obelisk, it wasn't the strongest play because he didn't develop anything. He could have just moved away from it, and oh my god. So he's going to clear that with again. He can't. He's going to have to use face or use 3 of the obelisks or dervishes. Excuse me. Oh boy. It doesn't matter which one he hits me with because they disappear. And he can play a Poop Dervish. Though I can play 6 mana and play my own my own Cumulonimbus, except I can play a Dunecaster with it. I will try and play around Bone Swarm though, if I can. And he gets the perfect... Actually no, it was a 1 in 3, I think. Borderline frustrating. Actually, we can still do it, right? We play our own. Hopefully we get okay, we can still do it. We use this one to clear. Move up. I don't think he's playing Lost. He wouldn't, even if he does play Lost, it's not the strongest of plays. It's not the strongest of plays. Yeah, we lose out on a BBS, but we get a 4/4. And we get 4 damage. We play around Bone Swarm. Yeah, we don't play around Lost, but he would have to punch this and then play Lost. And a 2-drop. So, choosing to ignore it. He might just have Lost and play Punch, which we can potentially kill next time. We have Intensify, so this will summon 4 Wind Dervishes, which is 8 damage, plus our first, which is 9, General 10, 11. We have 11 damage, potentially. If any one of these stick, we could kill him. Sand Swirl. So he's giving us a Reader. Actually, no, he's not giving us anything. What can he play for 1 mana? Interesting play. First Wish? Sure. This might be too slow, so I'm going to replace it. Though I will play it just to get the body down, actually. And this is also potentially burst damage, so I'm going to hold on to that as well. Same with Blood of Air, because we will have 7 mana next turn. So we can play Blood of Air plus this, or Blood of Air plus Wind Dervish, right? And that's 4 potential damage. So let's play our Cumulonimbus, see what we get for spawns. Horrible spawns. I'm really tempted just to take the 4. And to get 4 damage in on him. So I think that's what I will do. And yep, let's play hits here. We'll play around Bonesworm. Yeah, I'm playing into Lost, but again, that's his turn if he does it. So we'll play that there. Let's hit him for, put him down to 10. So this is honestly just a race. And we got a Fire Blaze. That's fantastic, actually. So we're playing around Bonesworm. If this had 3 health, I wouldn't play around Bonesworm. But as it doesn't, I have to play around Bonesworm. That's an Elmira, that's an easy Blood of Air, so. And we can kill him if he plays Elmira, actually, so. Because we're 2 above, he has to body block our general or the minion, and move 2 back, or just move behind the tile. So. Yep, he could just kill him. On 8 damage, if we draw another Dusk Drinker, or Dusk Drinker, we could do 2 damage there. Flame Blood, 5, 7. We'll be off by 1, but with First Wish, no, actually no, that doesn't do anything. Actually, this is potentially more damage because if we draw a Flame Blood, we can potentially, right? So we play this, but we would have to stop with the body block. So Celebrant, okay, fine. Interesting that he didn't move off the tile unless he has another minion. Okay, so now we can just kill him, potentially. Spelljammer. Smart to double body block. Can we kill him? Can we kill him? Fire Blaze. It's 3 damage, 4 damage. Oh boy. I don't want to use it just yet, to be honest. So let's do this. Let's get a First Wish down. Is that lethal? It's 1 off lethal. We don't have the mana. Can actually play Bonesworm, which I'm actually thinking about. Because I have 8 mana next turn, I can do Fire Blaze, Blood of Air, so. I think that's the better play. And he gets rid of 2 of his guys, so. We're going to leave him at 1. It's a little sad, but that's only my second Bonesworm, so. And there's card draw there. He has 3 cards. I don't think he can kill me. Yeah. Because he has 3 on-hand damage. He can't use Falcius to use Flame Bloods to try and lethal me, so I think we're good here. Even with Azure Herald might put him. His double Flame Blood is 6, 9. He's another 4. With 4 mana. Come up. Actually, no. He's 1 off if he has Lost in the Desert plus double Flame Blood, right? Because he can come up here, hit that. Double Flame Blood. Actually, no, double Flame Blood loses him the game anyways. The double Flame Blood would be a tie, right? At the very least. So Blood of Air and Azure Herald could be pretty good for him. So let's hope he doesn't have it. Dusk Drinker, cool. What else do you got? It's only 1 damage. Spelljammer. Okay, that's game. Yeah, that's game. Good game. Looks like he's still playing a Golem list. He might be a little bit more aggressive, an aggressive Golem list, but I don't think he's running obelisk for sure. It might be a little bit too low curve. Hey, would you look at that, top 50. I think I hit S rank in 61 games. I said, yeah, I think 61 games, or 61 wins, excuse me. And then I was able to get top 50 in... How about that page? That was from yesterday, the Abyssian list. 61, 33 wins. As you can see, the expansion has revitalized me to play Duelyst again. Though I'm skeptical about the one thing I don't like about this expansion. Yeah, there's a lot of cool cards, which is keeping me hyped up for right now. But the ability to the fact that there are more answer or die cards, right? What else? And the ability to snowball is kind of absurd. Just look at Brome, for example. The ability to snowball is insane. So if you don't run AoE, you could just lose. These Vanar games, I actually built an interesting Vanar list. I run double or triple Frostburn, simply to deal with Brome, right? Because that's when they 5/6 mana. That's when they look to try and swarm you with Jax or Ash Misfit plus whatever they else have on the board. And most of these minions have less than 3 health, right? So even if they buff it with a Warblade, the Crestfallens only get up to 3 HP. So you can Frostburn that, clear it. So Vanar is actually an interesting tech, even though they don't have aspect of Shimzar anymore. They can still tech against Brome and do pretty well. Because they do have very high tempo plays. I think when I'll feature a Vanar deck, I'll show you the power of Cloudfallen and Dancing Blades. Like those with Mentor, because if you have a Mentor on board, you play Cloudfallen or Cloud Caller, and that means your BBS refreshes, and you get a Water Ball. The Bloodbound Mentor will give you a copy of the Water Ball, which is a 4-mana spell, or excuse me, 1 mana 4 damage to a minion spell. You can get that in your hand, and you know that 1 mana deal 4 damage. Even though it can't go face, that's some pretty high value. So that coupled with Dancing Blades, you can pretty much dominate the mid game, right? Develop 4/6 clear minion. Or on 6 mana. So the dream here is, right, you play the new Wisp card on 4, get your Crestfallen, or why do I keep saying Crestfallen? The Cloud Caller or Dancing Blades, and just pretty much develop and eliminate their minions. And it's pretty high value, so you can try and smoke them down. But I do like the double, at least 2 copies of Frostburn to deal with the Swamp. To deal with Brome's Swarm. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm rambling about future decks. I shouldn't spoil that, actually. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but look forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's a lot of face damage, but this deck looks just to beat down Brome. I don't think we played Brome. We played Lionar, so I can't say I went 15 or 14 out of 14 against 14 out of 14 against Lionar, but not against Brome. But I did play a lot of people playing Brome, so I did win 13 games out of 13 games against Brome. So that's just a testament to how strong this matchup is against Swarm Lionar, specifically Brome. The Bone Swarms and the Obelisk put in the utmost of work. But if people start running Colus's list, the matchup might be a little bit closer, right? Because they can use things like Martyrdom to stop your your Obelisk. But notice how I won those games, right? Yeah, I had a decent curve and I drew okay, right? Drew pretty well. I drew a Cumulonimbus twice in the second game. But what did I do? I didn't look to, unless there was a really good reason for me to play Fireblaze or Obelisk early, I didn't play it early, right? Because it can just get removed or dispelled, and then that's potentially burst damage that you don't have anymore. So what did I do? I replaced Dust Drinker. That's a... because I want to say Dusk Drinker. That sounds easier to say because, you know, the K's and the consonants go together. But Dust Drinker and Flaybloods, I usually replace those because, you know, those die to Blood Tier Alchemist. Actually, the Dust Drinker doesn't die to Blood Tier Alchemist, but it dies to Bone Swarm and Tempest if you only played 1 copy. That's burst damage, so I like to replace it. Same thing goes for like Songhai lists that are combo. Mantra, I usually replace the Phoenix Fires because that's potentially burst damage in the late game rather than just using it to trade, though it is good trade value in the early game. So but now this is just me rambling, but that's how you should play the deck. what are my ways to deal burst? Do I need them this early? If not, replace it, and it'll definitely come to you in the late game, right? Mid to late game, where you look to try and kill your opponent on 6-7 mana. So, yep, hope you guys enjoyed today's live. Somehow made top 50 in 33 wins. Obviously have a pretty good streak going, I think. Yeah, obviously have a pretty good streak going. Well, this Lion-R game, I just conceded right away because I was going to try out a Brome list, and I didn't put Strategos in the list for some. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I have Sworn Avengers and Araki Headhunters, because Araki Headhunters start off as a 1-attack minion, meaning it contributes to the Lion-R trial. And I was like, wait, I completed the trial, but I don't have I can't believe I didn't think about it, because it's in your action bar, but I didn't have anything in my hand. And I was like, oh wait, crap. So I just conceded. I was like, oh, there's no way I can win with this. Just a bunch of crap minions on the field, so and no way to buff them. So I had to concede that right away. I forgot to put Strategos in the deck. So next time I play Lion-R up, I'll remember to put the actual win condition in the deck. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just rambling and I get sidetracked pretty easily. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.